Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 2 of the Metal Gear Solid 3 Euro tournament. First up, we will have an exhibition race on the PlayStation 2 version of the game with SilentMartyr and Makarov360 both playing on European Extreme. This game will be commentated by Mini Omega King and Major Zero. Following that, we do have the winners final, which is myself, Apache Smash, versus Major Zero. We do have the load remover all working too, so that'll be good. And following that, the loser of the winners final will play Sparty as well. So we got 3 games on stream. I'm going to take us over to the game screen now. We'll take a look and make sure that's all working well. And let's have a look how we're doing for that. I think that's the best we're going to do today with the capture cards that we have. I'm pretty happy with that, considering the problems we had setting it all up. So, welcome, Mini.
Hello, Apache. Thank you for having me.
And welcome, Major Zero. Thanks for coming.
Hello. My pleasure. Always love common races.
And I'll find out if the runners are ready. And we've got it ready from both, so I'll get them going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So, last time on the MGSR Twitch channel, we even saw the PS2 version, was when we were watching Kikujiro-chan's very, very old European Extreme single segment run. There's a fair amount of differences between PS2 and HD Collection. Not all of them are as apparent. There's one moment in particular that really stands out that separates it from HD Collection, and we will get to that when it shows up. But for now, just note that there are going to be some minor differences from what you would see in HD Collection. But yeah, we will point them out when they come up.
Definitely the biggest difference in general gameplay is the frame rate. That's certainly the first thing that most runners will notice. The game runs at 30 FPS. That's what it aims for, whereas the HD Collection aims for 60. And you can really feel those 30 frames that you're losing. The game feels a lot more sluggish,
yes.
But it is the nature of the device. Actually, we have Makarov's running the PAL version of the game, so his game's running even a little bit slower than that. It's aiming for 25 FPS, which is an interesting thing because it means it's going to feel just a little bit worse. But also, the game's actually going to run it slightly faster because it's going to be able to reach that 100% speed more often. Because like, when the game lags, basically, it slows down the game, waits for the next frames to be rendered. Because that frame rate aim is lower, it's easier to reach that. But it's not going to make a big difference in the run. It's like a second or two maximum.
Yeah. A lot of the early PS2 runs were actually done on the PAL version simply because of that. And also because a lot of the big runners at the time were European, so...
So now we see both runners entering the first room with guards, Dremushi North, and I suspect both runners are going to take out that first guard with a quick headshot. Quick headshots are a pretty common way of taking out enemies in MGS3, guards in particular. We see Martyr doing it here. Oh, he just whiffed it. A quick headshot, basically you hold square, which auto-aims on the enemy, and that does your horizontal aiming for you. Then you would go into first person and stand on your toes, which will do the vertical aiming for you. It lets you auto headshot a guard's head really easily, pretty quickly. We do it as much as we can in the run. There are some guards that we can't really do it for, but we try to avoid free aiming as much as we can in this game.
Free aiming is very, very slow, usually.
Yeah. And it's risky. Miss. So we're going to see a trank roll here. Martyr's going to shoot the guard once in the body and then roll into him. And it doesn't matter where you shoot him. Once you do that, that's an instant knockout when you roll into him, always. So Martyr accidentally shot the wall a little bit early, which made that guard run to that position too soon. If he had continued along the bridge in the way that Makarov did, then he would have gotten an alert. So that means he had to stop and headshot that guard, whereas Makarov was able to just take a clean line through without stopping.
Yep.
The goal there is you do want to shoot the wall, but you don't want to shoot it too early. The goal is to have that guard go behind that tree at a specific time, and he just shot the wall a little early is all.
I think he accidentally shot it while he's trying to get rid of the second guard.
I think so, yeah. We see another quick headshot in the beginning of this room, and then they're both going to do 2 body shots on that guard on the second level of the stairwell there. And he's going to be asleep by the time that either of these runners get into a place where he could possibly see them. So 2 body shots will knock a guard out pretty quickly. 5 seconds or so after you do the second shot. And that last guard, you can actually sort of abuse the window, the time that a guard takes to alert on you. It takes, what, 2, maybe even 3 seconds for a guard to alert on you. So if you can roll into him quick enough, you can cancel the alert entirely, and that's exactly what they did there on that last guard. And that is most of Virtuous Mission done. Now it's just exiting. They have one thing left to do, which is the cure. And even though it is menuing, you'd think it'd be very simple, but there is actually an optimization for cure. The game throws the injuries at you in a particular order, but we can actually change that order, and it's about a second faster if you do it that way. 3 cuts, then you would move over, get another cut, and then 2 broken bones, I believe, in the order.
Yep. The reason you want to do that is just because you have to menu less when you do it that way, because if you do it the intended way, which is cut, broken bone, cut, broken bone, when you heal the 3rd cut and you go into the broken bone, you have to go up and out of your way to use the last 2 pieces to recover it, and then you have to go down 2 to then go back to the cut and then do another up again to get back to it. So it just saves like just that little bit of time menuing to go to the cut. You see they both did it right there. Very nice.
And that is Virtuous Mission done for both racers. Very neck and neck race right now. But perhaps that's not so surprising coming out of Virtuous Mission. Virtuous Mission really serves as the tutorial for the game, making sure you understand the controls and basic mechanics. But going into Operation Snake Eater now, the game ramps up to about 1,000. You've got 2 really hard rolls pretty much right at the beginning. The first rooms with guards are very tricky. I think I'm very interested to see how both runners are going to handle them.
Yeah, it is worth mentioning that there is so far there have not been any differences between a run on HD Collection besides, of course, the load times. So as of right now, everything that they're doing can also be done on HD Collection, and vice versa.
A little bit of a bonk on that tree from Martyr. All right, so now we see both runners going into that first room with guards. This is the first very tricky roll. After they come out of this cutscene, they don't have a lot of time to waste. They need to move to the northwest to get into position to do a roll. They're going to roll straight towards 2 guards that are coming towards them, and that's going to get their attention, making them stop in place. And they stop just far enough away that you can barely sneak by if you have good movement. And you can see here, he's going to hug the wall and just avoid that alert from those guards. Now he's going to cook a smoke grenade, which silences his footsteps and walk behind the guard because he's... Oh no, he was just a little bit too far away and one of the guards was able to see him. So even after you've gotten past that guard, you're not out of the woods. You do have to stay close to that wall. As you saw, Makarov was just a few feet away from that wall, and that was enough to let that guard see him. We see Martyr now going into the second tough role of Operation Snake Eater. He needs, again, doesn't have a lot of time to dilly-dally. He needs to take a good line, get past this first guard here. This can be kind of tight. He can see you pretty easily, doing a roll off the cliff, and then a fairly precise roll into the trees, which we see. I think what happened is he rolled into that guard's hearing range, right, Matt?
Yeah, he did. Yep. That was Ricky. He landed just a bit too close to that guard.
Mm-hmm.
Very unfortunate. That Delino Vodno is very tricky.
And just like that, the runners are neck and neck again. So, ooh, that puts Makarov in the lead. Very interesting. That's unfortunate for Marty. Martyr. I'm gonna call him that now. Okay, so the roll in between those trees can be kind of tricky. As I said many times, the tree hitboxes are not exactly tree shaped. They're more like weird shaped rectangles. Oh no, Martyr! He always goes for bridge roll every time. And it just did not pay off this time. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, the bridge roll is very, very tricky. It is technically faster, but again, there is a chance that you can just fail it and nothing you do will be able to save you. So it is a risky move, but if it pays off on your first attempt through, you are going to save about, I believe, a second or two, roughly. Somewhere around there.
It's a very tricky roll because the game the game mechanics don't really allow for you to roll over that kind of railing. It's sort of like the railing roll in Warehouse 1. It's kind of jank, but you can do it if you angle it right.
They don't really want you to do it, but you can.
Yeah. And now we see Makarov going into the first boss fight of the game, Ocelot unit. So, as soon as he gains control of Snake, he's going to pause the game and equip the Mark 22, which is going to be critical for not only this fight, but the entire run. As soon as he does that, he's going to body shot a guard just to his southeast out the window. It's very important that this shot be a body shot and not a headshot, because you do not want this guard to fall asleep too soon. That would get the attention of the roof guard too early, and he would give you an alert in just a second. So there you go. See, there's the body shot. Now he's going to go south and try to headshot this guard to the south. Can be kind of tricky, especially on PS2. That's one body shot. I'm interested to see how he plays that later on in the fight. Does another body shot on another guard to the northeast for the same reason. He doesn't want to shoot him in the head because it would alert the roof guard. One stun grenade towards these four guards in the hall can take all of them out. We see now Makarov just barely did not get all of them, and I think that caused him an alert. I think one of the guards was able to see him.
Yeah.
So now let's see Martyr's crack at it. Very quick body shot on that first guard. I'd love to see it. And, ooh, I hope that was a hit on that southern guard. You might see these runners are sort of struggling to stay on their toes. That's not their fault. They're playing on the DualShock 2, which is a very notoriously difficult controller to use. So holding R2 and L2 is not convenient or comfortable on that controller. But we did see that Silent Martyr was able to get all four of those guards with that stun grenade, and he was well aware that he didn't get that headshot on that southern guard and went in for the second shot to take him out. That's really good awareness. I love to see that. Now he's going for the last guard. Going to be a headshot, a manually aimed headshot. This would normally be the last guard, I should say, but he has one more guard which he skipped for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. But he's going to go for him now. He's going to stand up on this ledge and stand on his toes again and hopefully go for a headshot.
He might have been trying to make sure that the southern guard didn't catch him when he went for the shot, but I'm not certain.
And now we see again like that. The runners are neck and neck.
Neck and neck again.
Both runners are now out of Ocelot unit, of course. Our next boss is going to be Ocelot in just a few minutes.
Going to be going through a nice swim through the swamp.
That's something weird about PS2. You don't really get much of a dive when you go into the water like that. You see, both the players didn't really get any sort of acceleration when they dived into the water. On PS3, well, HD Collection in general, I'm guessing because of the frame rate, somehow messes with the physics, you get a pretty big speed boost when you dive into water. That doesn't really exist on PS2, so you kind of just have to swim for it. But now we see both runners are going to go ahead and cure the leech, because I don't think either of them bothered to pick up the bug spray. This is just a little bit faster. It has the potential to be a little bit faster anyway.
Yeah, they both skipped the bug spray.
Yep. It's very important to cure the leech, especially on PS2 because it drains your stamina even faster than it does on HD, I believe. But it's really important because you do not want to have low stamina for the Ocelot or the Pain Fight. They're both very critical that you have a decent amount of stamina for that. We are going to get the Ocelot's camo animals after his fight, but don't really want to equip it any earlier. So now we see Makarov took a very specific line through that actual minefield to avoid the mines, rolled over a trap, and shot the wall. Specifically, he shot a wall next to a guard dog to get that dog's attention, make him bark, and a guard on the other side of the map hears that dog barking and runs conveniently out of our way because he hears the dog. And now he's not an issue for Makarov. Very good.
Yeah, and it's very interesting that it distracts exactly one specific guard, like super far away. Not really sure why him, but
maybe he's the handler.
He might be.
Bolshaya Past Base is a pretty simple room on Euro, even. Not too much to it. It's mostly running straight towards the exit. You have to take out one guard in any way of your choosing. I think what Makarov is going to do is he's going to body shot that guard with his lethal gun, which is going to make the guard run to cover, and he can sneak by just in time, just like this, without getting an alert. Very nice.
Yeah, this is the standard Euro strat there.
Yep. Some people like to do a trank roll with the Mark 22. It's personal preference. It all comes out in the wash. They're about the same speed. So now we see Ocelot. The Ocelot loop is pretty much the same on PS2 as it is on HD. It makes very little difference. He spawns in a slightly different place. But Makarov is going to stop him in his tracks with a Mark 22 shot into the body, and then throw a stun grenade at him. And this is going to do stamina damage, but more importantly, keep Ocelot in place so he can plant a couple of Mark 22 headshots in him. Oh no. Okay, he's going to go ahead and reset that fight. He recognized that he made a mistake, and he's going to go ahead and try again. So now we see Martyr doing the loop. He just threw his stun grenade. Now he's going to shoot him once in the head. Throw another stun... Ooh, that's a whiff. Throw another stun grenade. Does the same thing. And this time, instead of shooting him in the head, he's going to shoot the Markor in the back. The purpose of this is to distract Rykov. Rykov, I cannot get anyone's names right today. Ocelot in about 10 seconds time. He's going to do one more shot on him, and now you see Ocelot's going to turn around. Notice that Markor, which gives Silent Martyr just a couple more opportunities to get some headshots on him. Okay, so he's doing something a little bit unique here. He's not going for the normal headshot strat. Instead, he's going to go for some auto-aimed third-person shots. Very valid strat. The headshots can be kind of weird and even risky sometimes because Ocelot does do quite a lot of damage. You do run the risk of getting shot multiple times, and Ocelot does not play around. He will kill you very quickly with his gun. Looks like both runners struggle just a little bit with Ocelot, but again, they're neck and neck. They just keep bringing that lead back together. It's awesome. I love to see it.
Yeah,
Ocelot is the animals camo, but he has it. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, Ocelot is a bit of a scary fight when he gets out of the loop because, like Major mentioned, he does a lot of damage. Like you can see right now that they are both hurting about almost the exact same amount of hurting, actually. I'm not sure why Makarov is rapidly unequipping and re-equipping his gun. That doesn't do anything in this game.
Just for memes, surely?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, you really can't do much to improve crawling speed. You just kind of have to go. The best you can do is like get the faster animation for standing up when you get out of it. which I believe is a single tap on X, right?
I don't think so. I think it's
the held
two.
one?
It's
two. Okay.
I think you want to. Appel thinks you can do it with a single tap. I'm not able to get it with a single tap, but I guess it's maybe area dependent. I'm not certain. I just double tap it and call it a day.
Because there's a different animation when you just tap X to get up versus when you hold it to get up. And in certain situations, you want to do the tap, and in others, you want to do the hold. It's more relevant on PS2. It's not so relevant on HD Collection. But yeah, there is a difference there.
And now we see both runners going into the Pain. The Pain is a notoriously difficult fight on PS2. Mostly in Phase 2. Phase 1 is exactly the same as it is on HD Collection. They're going to immediately throw a smoke grenade at the Pain. The purpose of this is to disperse his first swarm of bees that he's going to throw at you. When the bees hit the smoke grenade, they disperse automatically. Oh yeah, I forgot. Makarov's doing Patriot strats. So he's doing something a little bit different. We're seeing two different strats here. Basically, Makarov's just going to unload on the Pain with the Patriot at any opportunity he can. And we see Martyr is going to go ahead and plant some nice surgical headshots with his Mark 22. To end Phase 1 just like that. At one point, his bee shield was up. He threw a grenade to bring the bee shield down and then continued planting headshots into him. Phase 2 is first thing you're going to do is throw a grenade to take on his bee shield just as before, and then unload on him as much as you can. So this is where PS2 changes quite a lot. You see those red bees flying around. Those are bullet bees. On HD Collection, they're normally not a threat at all because of the frame rate. You can just hold R1 and they always miss. But on PS2, they don't. They very, very, very rarely miss. So you do have to do something about them. Either dive into the water or throw a smoke grenade, something to that effect. Both runners opted to dive into the water to avoid the bees, and they actually both got out, well, Martyr got out pretty easily. Looks like Makarov might be struggling just a little bit. He's kind of low on health. That was a really, really good Pain fight from Martyr. You always love to see a good Pain fight on PS2 because the PS2 version of the Pain can always go wrong so easily, and it is not a fun time when it happens. So, all right, a little bit slow, but Makarov did make it out cleanly. He didn't take any continues, so that's really good.
So yeah, what you saw them both do was like try and get as much damage off as they could immediately at the start of Phase 2 after getting rid of the bee shield, and then they go straight into the water. And then from there, you kind of have to like get a couple shots while you're in the water. Optimally, you would finish the fight while in the water, but that's pretty difficult because the Pain is random, and unless your shots are like really accurate and really fast, he'll put up the bee shield again, and then you'll have to go back on land. So it's a very, very tricky fight on PS2, and it's also slower because of the dive you have to do.
At many points in the run, you'll see both runners walking up hills with the box. This isn't just for fun. There is a reason for it. Of course, Snake has a very slow uphill walking animation, but they didn't program one in for the box. So if you have the box on, he just walks up hills at full speed. Same for stairs. They're going to try to do this as much as they can. Whenever they have an opportunity to equip the box going uphill, they will take it. Although it is a little dark, we see on Martyr's screen he's going through the river. You can take a particular line through the river to avoid these searchlights. They aren't too much of a threat, even on European Extreme. You can just barely skirt the edge and they won't see you. However, Martyr is pretty low on ammo, but he only needs one shot to take out the first guard in the next room. So as long as he doesn't miss, he's good.
Yeah, and thankfully in that room there is more Mark 22 ammo, so he's just going to pick that up right away.
Yep. There's even 2 boxes, so he can pick up quite a lot if he wants. He probably will. I would.
Yeah, at his ammo count, I would pick up an extra.
So, as I said, there's one guard that he's going to have to shoot right at the beginning with his Mark 22. He's going to do a quick headshot on him, because, of course, you don't really want to free aim. You want to try to eliminate that as much as possible. And after he quick headshots that first guard, he's going to go for shooting the barrels with his 1911, which, of course, kills all the guards in the room, but more importantly, damages the end. As you can see, his health bar there is missing quite a big chunk of health. That's really important because it carries over into his fight later on. He's going to start with less health in his fight, which makes it possible to do the strat that they're both going to do when we get there. You might be wondering why we don't snipe him early. Short answer for a long story is it's really slow. You have to go really far out of your way to get the SVD. It takes a long time. You lose Foxhound for shooting him. Then it takes a long time to walk through his arena. And more importantly, you don't get the Mosin Nagant, which is the normal reward you get for non-lethal killing the end, which we would use on the Fury and the boss. Makes those fights very fast. So it's much, much slower overall to go ahead and snipe him early.
Yeah, you lose out on a ton of damage if you do it that way. So that's the main reason why we don't want to grab it. You can see Martyr doing an old strategy for Warehouse 1. Old but safe. This was considered the single segment strategy and the only one you could do for a long time until people got better at the game, and then we started to experiment with more of the stuff that was considered segmented only. But that is a classic strat, so I am glad to see that in a modern setting. It is very cool.
Yeah, Sparty used to do that too. I love seeing it. And we saw, by contrast, Makarov did the modern strat that most people would do today. You would bump into the guards and then roll into them, which knocks them down. And as long as you get the box on early enough, you can get out of their range before they actually have an opportunity to alert on you. And it's kind of tight, but you can make it out of the room cleanly if you do that well. And Makarov did nail it. He made it out of Warehouse 1 on first try. Going into the lab now, it's definitely not free. There's definitely some areas where things can go wrong, but it's sort of a sigh of relief. It's a lot less likely for things to go wrong than it is in the previous rooms. You're coming out of a pretty high tensity segment, an intensity, I should say, with the pain in particular on PS2 and Warehouse. There's a lot of opportunity for risk there. So going into the lab, it's a pretty big sigh of relief.
Yeah, he accidentally laid back down after he got up out of the vent. And once again, they're close together again, so this is a very
it just happens like
race.
That, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
Oh, wrong camo. So both runners are going to be using the Scientist outfit. The Scientist outfit makes this way easier. It's possible to go through the lab without the Scientist outfit on European Extreme, but it is so ridiculously difficult. It's definitely not single segment safe today. And even then, it only saves a couple of seconds, because you still have to equip a camouflage after the fight. It saves a lot more time in multi-segment runs, because you can avoid menuing the animals camo altogether. But for single segment, you do still need it. So it only saves a couple of seconds.
Yeah, and one interesting thing to mention is that in a segmented run, we actually don't have to worry whatsoever about our stamina meter, whereas that is very important for the routing and the strats that we do in a single segment, because in a segmented run, every single segment is going to start with your stamina full, so you really don't have to bother with much of that. So that's where one of the bigger differences comes into play.
Oh, they are synced up to the frame. Look at that!
Oh, wow.
All right, so the exit to lab. Exit to lab is a little bit more tricky than the the entrance. First thing, they're going to run out of the door here, which is going to get a scientist's attention. They're going to equip the box at a particular moment, which resets the scientist's AI so he doesn't alert on them, on either of the runners. Both nailed that trick perfectly. It is kind of tight, because if you stay in a bad place for too long, the guard can see you in the box, and he'll just alert on the box. So you have to take a good line, and you have to have good movement. So glad both runners nailed that. And this is where both runners are going to take the opportunity to equip the animal's camouflage, and probably equip the 6 spray as well. Because Makarov is on New Game Plus, he has access to the Patriot, as you saw during the pain. He is going to use it again here on the Fear coming up in just a second. And we are going to see the New Game strat from Martyr.
Makarov doing the standard lab exit strategy. Oh, and same with Martyr. Interesting. Oh, he didn't get the headshot. That's rough.
Very unfortunate. We see now Makarov is going into the Fear. So he's on New Game Plus, so he's going to take the easy way out with the Patriot. As soon as the fight starts, he is going to go ahead and use the fake death pill. And he's going to revive at a particular moment and throw a stun grenade at his feet, which affects the Fear. What it does is stun grenades make the Fear, all the damage that he takes turn into stamina damage, and it removes all of the Fear's iframes. So you can kill him really quickly with something like the Patriot or a rope trap. We're going to see Makarov use the Patriot because that's what he has. It's going to be the fastest way. He's going to save about 7 seconds over Martyr doing this. Very nice.
Yeah, this is a good deal faster than the New Game strategy for this fight.
And by contrast, we see Martyr doing the New Game strat. He's going to run up to this trap here and do basically the same thing. He's going to fake death pill and revive at a particular moment, then throw the stun grenade. But instead of using a gun, he's actually going to activate the trap himself, which is going to hit the Fear and kill him very quickly. The trap does a lot of damage, a whole lot of damage. Oh no! He activated the trap just slightly too early, and the trap hit the Fear before the stun grenade exploded, so he took health damage instead of stamina damage. So he's going to try that one more time. And as we see that happening, Makarov is going into Warehouse 2, taking a slightly safe route. I think you know about this strat more than I do, Minnie. Would you like to explain it?
Yeah, this is the safer version of Warehouse 2. The main problem with this one is, of course, it's it's pretty slow. But this is a lot safer than the standard.
Ooh.
Ooh. He hesitated a bit too much on the on just the movement in general. To get this one to work, that first shot you do on the upper guard needs to be very fast. You need to get that pretty quickly in order for everything else to line up properly.
Both runners are struggling at the moment. Martyr just took another continue at the Fear. He did the same thing. He activated the trap just slightly too early, and it was able to hit the Fear before the stun grenade exploded, therefore doing health damage, knocking him over. But finally, Makarov makes it out of Warehouse 2 and is moving on to the end. Two bosses really close together. Nice. Martyr's out.
Oh, yeah, he got it. Very nice.
You think Martyr's going to go for the riskier strat, the box headshot?
I think
it kind of looks like it.
Might. Yeah, I think he might.
Oh, he is. He's doing it. All right. So this strat's about 9 seconds faster, but it is considerably riskier. You saw there he landed on top of that guard, which knocks him out, and then did what's called the box headshot on the guard in the middle of the room. The way a box headshot works is when you come out of the box, Snake's auto-aim, or his shooting his gun, basically, it shoots a little bit higher than it would if you just shot normally. Combine that with the fact that the guard is noticing the box and therefore lowering his head, that is just enough that you can hit him in the head with a box headshot like that, knocking him out. And that's the fastest way to get through the room that we know of today.
There could be a faster one out there, and we just haven't discovered it yet. There's still a lot to find for this game.
I hope so. That was a clean shot to Gorny West from Makarov, and now we see him going into the end fight. He's going to be doing a relatively new strat, found by GoGo Time about 6 or 7 months ago. He's going to snipe the end with the Mark 22. 3 headshots if you can get them. It's a little bit hard on PS2. It's kind of blurry, and combining with the fact that he's playing on composite cables instead of component, it's just a little bit harder to see. But he got pretty decent damage. You'll always take that in the run. Now he's going to run to a particular spot in the arena and do 6 or 7, probably 7, punch, kick combos. And the purpose for this is because he wants to wait 25 seconds, and these combos basically add up to almost exactly 25 seconds. He's going to throw a smoke grenade in between him and where he knows the end is going to teleport to later on, and then make some noise by shooting an unsilenced gun. And as I said before, this is going to make the end teleport to a specific location. Both runners know exactly where this is going to be, so they're just going to meet him there and throw a stun grenade and then initiate the loop. We actually are going to see 2 different loops, I believe, from the runners today. Makarov is going to be doing the traditional, the real GoGo Time loop. He's going to be chasing him around. So he's going to do a sig spray, hold up, and then basically sig spray him on the ground until he gets knocked over. Very nice. Now he's going to run to the northwest. Makarov knows this, so he's again going to meet him there. By this tree, stop him in his tracks with a sig spray shot, and then manipulate him into running south. Oh no, he just missed that punch, but he knows the backup. He's going to go ahead and throw that stun grenade now. Get as much damage as he can. Ooh, and the stun grenade hit the tree and didn't stun the end. Very unfortunate.
Oh, no, that's rough.
The tree was in between the stun grenade and the end, and therefore did not affect him in any way. So now Makarov knows that it's... he could still save it, but he doesn't know where the end has gone. So he's rather than risking potentially even getting sent back to the lab, he's going to go ahead and kill himself and restart the fight. Meanwhile, we see SilentMartyr just running out of ammo with his Mark 22, which could be a problem later on. He is now meeting the end, who has just teleported, hopefully. He's going to throw his stun grenade at him here. And the end has teleported. So he's going to open up with a punch, spray, punch. Or just no punches is cool. Hold him up. He's going to lay down on the ground, spray him a little bit more, and I suspect he's going to do the sort of hybrid loop. He's going to throw some grenades at him, and he is. So when you hit the end with a grenade, particularly a stun grenade or a smoke grenade, which wouldn't damage him, he'll recoil. He'll get effectively stunned by it for a few seconds, which gives you an opportunity to do some more stamina damage on him and keeps him from sending a stun grenade of his own. So he's just going to alternate between shooting the end with the sig spray and throwing some grenades at him as many times as he can until he runs out of grenades, and then he knows that the end is going to run northwest. He's going to meet him there and hopefully finish the fight just here. I don't think he has enough. Ooh! He just barely missed him. And the end is escaping. I do not think this is recoverable.
No.
All right, we see now Martyr is going to reset the fight as well and try again.
Yeah, one of the big things that makes this fight a lot more challenging, or this version of the fight, just a lot more challenging on PS2, is the way that the cigar gas spray works. It actually functions differently on PS2 versus HD Collection. It's a little strange, but the way that it kind of works is on HD Collection, when you're standing up or crouching, it doesn't matter which way you do it. For some reason, one spray from the cigar gas spray will hit twice. On PS2, that does still work, but you have to be crouching for that to work. It's not really clear why. Probably it has something to do with the frame rate, but we don't really know the specifics.
All right, so it looks like Makarov should finish the fight here, and he has. Very good. That puts nice. Makarov in the lead. Martyr still has about 45 seconds until he can finish the fight, so that's a pretty sizable lead for Makarov. But as we know, this race can change tides at any moment, and we've seen it happen already multiple times in this race. So nothing is set in stone yet. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that's right. It can change whenever.
All right, so this is Martyr's opportunity to finish the fight here at the tree. Oh, he missed the punch. Okay, so he can stop the end in his tracks with the Mark 22 shots if he can aim well, or if he wants to meet him when he stops running. Okay, that's what he's gonna opt to do. He's watching the end, sees where he's gonna go, and he's gonna go ahead and shoot him here, or hopefully sig spray him if he can. Okay, never mind. He's gonna shoot him, finish the fight like that. That's perfectly reasonable. Ooh, just barely not enough stamina damage. One of those headshots was actually a body shot, and he's gonna try to chase him. Oh, that's scary.
Oh.
One shot. Is this it, boys? Is this it? He's got one chance. And he just barely does not make it. He only has one bullet left in his Mark 22, and that was his only chance to land it. Now the end is going to run out of the arena, unfortunately. He has no choice but to reset the fight and try again.
So yeah, again, this is like the same thing that you would be doing on a HD collection. It's just that getting the proper damage from the cigar gas spray is just a bit finicky on PS2. But this is also a pretty difficult strategy. This is not easy, what they're doing.
Especially on PS2 with
Yes.
the harder, it's harder to see him, so it's harder to aim. And then the quirks of the sig spray just add a very strange challenge to this fight on PS2. Because even with the weird mechanics, it is possible for the sig spray to sometimes double spray when you're standing up, which can actually throw a wrench in things if you don't expect it. You got a double spray when you expect only one, and then you end up knocking him over when he shouldn't.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a very
Thankfully, we haven't seen any of that.
fight. Yeah, thankfully that has not happened.
We see Makarov going into the first screen of Mountains, Mountains 1. Mountains 1 is pretty simple compared to the other two rooms of Mountains. It's mostly just taking a good line, taking a mostly straight line to the exit. You're going to have to take a little bit of a detour to take out a guard, but that's about it. As said before, they're going to box up these hills whenever they have the opportunity. However, after they knock out this guard, they will be just inside the vision range of two guards, so they can't actually box here. Instead, they're going to have to roll. And if you look at the camo index at the top right, you'll notice when he rolls, the camo index actually goes up just a little bit, just enough to avoid getting that alert. And that's what they're both going to opt to do in this room, instead of boxing through it. The box would bring your camo index down to about minus 10%, which would be an instant alert. The animal's camo is strangely good in the Mountains. It's really, really good. All right, so Mountains 2. Both runners are going to open up with a Mark 22 shot, just auto-aimed. There's actually a guard standing on a cliff, and you're in just the perfect position that if you just don't move at all and auto-aim your gun, you'll get a headshot every time. So that gets that guy out of the way quickly. And he's going to stand on his toes to shoot this guard in the head. Well, body, because he missed the head, but whatever. And the reason for that is because aiming in MGS3 is kind of weird. Guards can't really see you when you're leaning around corners. But they can in MGS2. It's a weird departure for them to make it so that they can't see you when you lean around corners or on your toes in MGS3. Ooh,
Yeah,
and this looks like attempt number.
Yeah, he's been... End is bullying him. Yeah, on what Major Zero was saying, the way that it works in MGS3 is when you lean to the sides, what actually happens is it just moves the camera to the side. It doesn't actually move Snake. Snake stays in place, but the camera moves. So that's why you can like lean around corners and guards won't see you. And I think this isn't going to work for Martyr because the end was shooting at him. So I believe this is not going to teleport the end.
I believe you're correct, yeah.
But we will see.
I wish him the best. And it looks like he did not teleport. Martyr knew this, though, going into it. He had a feeling this was going to happen, and he was prepared to go ahead and run to the TNT. I think a better option would have been to go ahead and wait longer, because eventually the end will be able to teleport. You're just going to have to wait longer, and I think that would have been faster than going to the TNT and trying the fight again. It is about a minute every time you do this, so it is significant time loss. We see Makarov took a continue on Mountain 3. Mountain 3 is a pretty tricky room. This first roll over the trench is actually kind of weird and hard. I think that's what he missed last time. He landed just inside of the guard's hearing range. and just
he fell down.
Yeah, he fell down. He's going for the no caution strat, so he's going to avoid shooting his gun at all. Oh yes, he goes for the safety here. He likes to shoot this guard a little bit early, so that way he doesn't have an opportunity to catch him later. Right about here is where he runs the risk of getting caught, but instead, he's going to go ahead and shoot both of these guards, so he really doesn't have much risk of that today. Even with this missed shot, it's very, very safe, because these guards they just really can't see all that well, so. Alright, so we see Makarov's going to be doing a PS2 exclusive skip, specifically, even within that, a PAL exclusive skip. He's going to do a ledge climb glitch. I don't know if there's really a name for it. Basically, if you press R1 and triangle at the same time while running towards a ledge, Snake can climb through the wall just like that, and he can skip the cutscenes with Eva, all the load zones they're in, and go straight into the Fury fight, just like that. That saves about 45 seconds, I think.
I think it might be a little bit more than that, but yeah, it's a big time saver on PS2 because the loads for those Eva cutscenes are pretty long on PS2, and not to mention you still have to go through like 2 extra loading zones, so it is definitely a big time save for PS2. And he's going into everyone's favorite boss, the Fury. So we'll see how the Fury treats him. I don't remember. I think he did already menu the Mosin, but we'll see.
I don't remember seeing it. We will see soon, won't we? Not quite the optimal spawn for the Fury, but Makarov's going to take what he can get. There is a loop for the Fury, which you're going to try to execute as much as you can, but there's always the opportunity that the loop will just escape you by no fault of your own. If you knock the Fury down, and then bait him into shooting at you, and run away, as long as he can't see you after he shoots at you, he'll usually try to jump away, at which point you can repeat the process, knocking him down, and whatnot, as many times as necessary to end the fight. Unfortunately, Makarov did lose the loop about 2/3 of the way through, and we see now Martyr has finished the end fight. He is out.
Very, very nice.
Glad to see it. All right, and that is Makarov out of the Fury. That's very exciting. I know that Makarov was struggling with the Fury in practice today, so I'm very glad he made it out. I wish the best for Martyr. I hope that neither runner has many more hiccups today. I don't want to see either runner struggle too much today. Struggle buses do not make for good races.
Yes, that is true.
So Makarov's going to opt to do a slightly safer strat than what many runners would do today. He's just going to take the long way around these tank hangers here, barely avoiding a guard's vision. This is only about 2 seconds slower than what many runners would do today, which is a box headshot on a guard just to the north. The box headshot's kind of risky, though, so it's a lot safer to just go ahead and do this, and it is only 2 seconds. It's not a big deal. Again, he's going to do another quick headshot on this guard here. Oh, he just barely was not on a line, so he had to free aim that shot, but he made it. And because that guard saw his buddy go down, his AI prioritizes helping his buddy over seeing things like the box. So he's able to just walk in front of that guard without getting an alert on, as long as he has the box on. Unfortunately, though, one of the guards did see the box as he was crossing over. I'm not sure exactly how that happened. Of course, all the other guards in the room. Ooh, this is not good.
Ooh.
All the other guards in the room, of course, are not affected by this, so they all behave as normal. If they see the box, they will alert on it. It's only the guard who's going to check up on his buddy that'll be affected by this. Man, Makarov is really struggling with these headshots today, so you do have to be kind of quick with that quick headshot. Otherwise, the guard will... It's weird. He'll see the guard go down in a different way, react differently, and instead of going to check on him, he'll get a caution instead. So you do have to be kind of quick. You don't have a whole lot of time to dilly-dally.
Yeah, you have to make sure that the guard sees him go down, like, not... So basically what's happening is, for some reason, if a guard, like, visually sees them fall over, they go into a caution usually. But if they're not facing them directly and then turn and look and they're already down, they don't go into caution, they just go and check up on them. So I believe the way that it actually functions is that the guard just so happens to turn his head at the right moment to see him knocked over. And if you do it a little bit too late, then he'll caution off of it.
Makarov now is capturing Rykov. What he did, he threw a smoke grenade at the base of those stairs, which prevents a guard in the eastern hallway from seeing him. And then he shoots that guard in the eastern hallway with his 1911. This sends him into caution. Now, that guard and Rykov are basically telepathically linked. So whenever that guard goes into caution, so does Rykov. And therefore, Rykov tries to run to the nearest radio, which is in the room that Makarov is in now. But he doesn't let him get to that radio. Instead, he just meets him halfway and basically choke grabs him all the way to the locker room. And that's the Rykov kidnap. It's really simple on European Extreme. Honestly, it's weird. European Extreme is easier. Rykov European Extreme is easier than like Very Easy, for example. It's very strange how some of these rooms work sometimes.
Yeah, it's really weird. That room is very, very simple on well, maybe not very, very simple, but it's definitely way easier than the strategy you would have to do for Very Easy. So it's a bit of a weird difference there. The harder difficulty has the easier strat for that room.
It looks like SilentMartyr is going to opt for the same classic safe strat for Mountain 2. There are faster strats today, but this is the classic. This has been the staple for years. It's not really a surprise to see really anyone go for this strat. This is perfectly acceptable. It's only a few seconds slower than what some runners would do today. On HD, I should say.
Tell me,
Stop it!
who have you been talking to?
He doesn't know what you're talking about.
You'd better start.
So we got Martyr going into Mountains 3 right here. We'll see how he tackles this one. If I had to guess, knowing him, it's probably going to be the standard Mountains 3, but we will see.
You know, the way he was walking to that trench, I expected him to go for caution strats. There is an alternative strat you can do for Mountain 3. You can roll into the trench and shoot an unsilenced gun, which will, of course, give you a caution. Make some guards move out of your way. It's mostly preference. Caution Mountain 3 is pretty much the exact same speed as no Caution Mountain 3. It literally is just preference. It's a precise room no matter how you look at it. However, if you do caution strats, the precision is moved to a different spot. And some runners might find this precise movement easier than precise movement in no caution strats. So, for example, in no caution strats, you have to basically take good movement, don't get stuck on any walls or anything like that, so you don't get caught by the very last guard. In caution strats, you have to stay very far right so you don't alert on a guard that's walking down the trench in about the middle of the room. And some runners it's just down to preference.
Yeah, it's a preference thing.
And now we see Martyr making his way to the Fury.
Well then, let's get started.
He's got a pretty good Fury to live up to. You're not really going to complain if you get the kind of Fury that Makarov got in this run today. Ooh. Okay, he has an opportunity to go for that roll again. Oh no! That's unfortunate. He still can get it. There is a flamethrower trooper in the trench here, but their peripheral vision's not that great. So he doesn't have to worry too much about him. Oh man, that was scary. Oh! One of the guards in the southern part of the room turned around.
Yeah, he was too slow.
Just too early. Well, he was too slow, but the guard turned around just at the wrong moment.
Yeah.
Just barely was able to spot him. I think that's going to be nerves. I think he knows what's coming up. This room, particularly the Fury coming up, is not a fun part. So. Makarov just got out of torture. So now he's going to escape the cell. He's going to grab the fork and kick a rat, which he's going to use a little bit later. Oh, he missed the rat, so he's going to back up to something else in a minute. But first, he's going to cure. He's going to take out the transmitter, Sniper Wolf, planted a transmitter here on Solid Snake, who is our main character in MGS3. And he's going to spin Solid Snake around 10.5 times to make Solid Snake vomit. And his vomiting is going to get the attention of Johnny, the prison guard. And he's going to come and open up the door for him. You might want to let him vomit. He was going for the bat. Okay. He's going to have to back up to get the noodles. But anyway, he's going to open up the door. He's going to give him the old left-right good night. Knock him down. Ooh, unfortunate. He knocked him down with the punch-punch kick instead of the revolver, so he didn't knock him out quite as fast. Just a few seconds time lost. So now he's going to drag his corpse for some smoke grenades, and then again for some instant noodles, which he's going to use in the next room to distract a guard. So as soon as he gains control of Snake, he's going to throw these instant noodles, which distracts a guard to the south in an alleyway. Makes him turn his head for just long enough for us to sneak by. Then he's going to... he's going to go for the no smoke strat. This is swaggy. Let's go. Let's see it. Come on. Yes, he gets it. So if you take a really good line, you don't have to use the silent footstep grenade trick. And you can just make that guard do some weird AI stuff and look in the wrong spot when he hears your footsteps. I love seeing that.
Yeah, you can actually do that for a lot of guards in the game, but... It's very, very precise. So to see that in an actual race setting is really cool.
Yeah, it's very precise. Love
that.
On the other end of the spectrum, we see SilentMartyr is struggling a little bit with the Fury. He has taken 1 death so far. I believe that was a really, really bad spawn on his first attempt. So let's hope his next attempt is better. Oh. Okay, thankfully he didn't get knocked over by that fire. That's good. So now Makarov's going to throw this smoke grenade in between these two guards. His goal here is to encompass the right guard inside of the smoke so that way he can't see Snake as he's walking by. But then land the smoke grenade in between Snake and the guard on the left. So he doesn't see him as he's walking by either. Unfortunately, I think that grenade was just slightly too... Ooh, I'm not sure. Too far left? I'm not sure. The guard on the left was able to see Snake as he was walking by, unfortunately. This one looks good. Nice. That should be clear for Makarov. Meanwhile, we see Martyr has the Fury down to 1 more hit, but unfortunately, so is Snake. This is anyone's fight at the moment. Really scary to see Martyr not wearing the box as much as he can, but he does get out of the fight, thankfully.
Very nice.
So something we neglected to mention before was the cardboard box is fireproof in MGS3. If you equip it, standing fire on the ground will never light you on fire, and it'll also extinguish you if you are currently on fire. Won't do anything against his big flamethrower attack. That'll still hurt you, but the fire on the ground won't be an issue then. So normally we like to equip the box and keep it on as much as we can, but he opted not to there. Interesting. Makarov is choosing not to get the life med. Oh no, he's going back for it. Okay. He recognized it. Makarov's going to opt to get this life med. It's super important for some of the later bosses. If you mess up, it's very easy for some of these bosses to kill you. So he's going to go ahead and go all the way back up these stairs, grab this life med. And then, I think that's going to kill him. Oh, that was so close.
Yeah, if he had fallen into the water below, I think that would have actually killed him.
So, MGS3 is kind of weird. Fall damage doesn't necessarily work in the way you'd expect. You don't really ever take that much fall damage. Fall damage is really not an issue. However, if you fall from a certain height, it's effectively... If you fall from that height, it's always death, no matter what your health is. Your health actually doesn't technically go down. It just instantly causes a game over. Very strange. So he was really close to being at that height where it would instantly kill you. Thankfully, it didn't. Martyr is now going into Rykov, and he's doing the old school strat. As soon as he gains control of Snake, he's going to shoot his gun, which gets the attention of all the guards in the room, pretty much. Move that eastern guard out of the way. That's why it's kind of a precise, timed shot. You do have to do it pretty early. Otherwise, that guard in the northeast will be running towards you instead of away from you, and he'll just give you an alert. As before, Rykov runs to this radio and calls in the caution or whatever for backup. And we're just going to drag Rykov straight to the locker room. And Very good guards from Volgan here, walking right past us as we kidnap their commander.
Yeah, that's the older strat. I think Martyr walked in with the box on, which actually makes that a lot more precise because you have to take it off. Normally, the way that you would do that area is you come in without the box on at all, so you just immediately do the shot. But and there is still a bit of leeway if you with the general strat, which is why even if you accidentally do go in with the box, it still works. But it's much more precise if you walk in like that. So very nice to see him get that first try, because again, the way he entered makes that a little difficult.
We just saw the Sorrow fight from Makarov. The Sorrow is a pretty simple boss. Both runners are going to be going for IGT strats today because this race is going to IGT. So he basically just drowns himself as soon as he gains control of Snake. There's really not much to it. The reason that there's a difference between RTA and IGT strats is because the Sorrow fight doesn't count towards IGT. The game looks at... Ooh, Makarov missed log roll. There's a very tricky roll you can do there.
Oh, no.
There's a very tricky roll you can do there. You can roll off the log and onto the waterfall across the gap. It saves about 2 seconds if you get it. If you miss it, you lose 20 plus. It's a very tricky roll because that log is very narrow, so it's easy to just walk off instead of rolling, as you saw there. And he goes for it again and misses it. He got the roll this time, but it was just short. Very unfortunate. This is an opportunity for SilentMartyr to claw back some time. All he needs to do is not go for log roll, and he is automatically saving time. As I was saying about the Sorrow, the game looks at what frame the fight started on, and when the fight ends, it resets the frame counter to that frame. So effectively, none of the fight counts towards IGT. So if you wanted to, you could walk all the way to the end of the river, and none of that would count towards your IGT. This time, Makarov went for a fairly safe log roll, and he made it. That's good. This one probably saves, like, I don't know, a second or so, maybe a little less. But it's a lot safer.
Now, this is everyone's favorite part on a PS2 run. Don't worry, there's nothing wrong with Makarov's screen. This load just takes a really long time on PS2. So
on PS2, believe me, PS2 is not unique.
Yeah, not unique to PS2, but this is going to take a while. So
I think it's about 30 seconds.
Nothing's wrong. It's something like that. It's pretty long.
It's pretty long. Even on the fastest loading console, or consoles, which are the Xbox Series XS and the Shield, NVIDIA Shield that is, it still takes a long time, like 10 seconds plus, just to get through those cutscenes. It's a long time. But we see he's out now. He's making his way back into Groznygrad. This is Return to Groznygrad. He has all his gear back now, all his camouflages and stuff. So he's going to grab this cardboard box B. That's going to be very important later on in the next room. He's going to use it to fast travel straight into the Shacklehead's hangar. After he grabs that, he's going to menu all of his gear back on and change camos to the Oscam camouflage. The Oscam camouflage, it's a special camouflage. It reduces all incoming damage by 1/3, which is going to be very important for later rooms in the bike chase, but also some of the bosses. He's already got the life med on because he picked it up in the sewer, so he doesn't have to worry about that. He's looking for it. He's a little confused, I think. There you go. And now he's menuing the guns.
Yeah, don't forget the C3. That's important. Oh, caught on the door bit. Alright, he's made it out.
Martyr has just made it out of torture. I wonder what strat he's going to do. Okay, he's going to do the vomit strat as well. So Makarov now is going to do the same thing he did on the first entrance to Groznygrad. He's going to trank a guard, which is going to get noticed by one of his buddies. Oh, he's taking a long time with his shot. I think he's going to... Okay. Right, this is PS2 safety, I think. I think this strat is just a little bit different on PS2, and you have to time it much, much differently. Go very late in order for it to work every time. But the concept is the same. He tranks the guard, which gets the attention of his guard buddy, goes to check on him, and therefore doesn't notice the box as Snake walks in front of him.
Very nice. Yeah, it works very similarly on PS2. I think there's a small difference, like you mentioned, but I'm not 100% certain if there is. So I'm not gonna make any strong assertions that it is.
And as you saw there, Makarov used the cardboard box B to teleport straight into the Shacklehead hangar. Really important that he didn't get a caution in that last room, the one where he did the box trick with the guards, because if you have so much as a caution, that truck will not take you anywhere. Thankfully, he didn't, made it through just fine. But he does want to cause a caution in this room. What he's done, he shot in this case, the liquid fuel tank next to one of the mechanics. And MGS3 has a weird game mechanic where if a scientist or a mechanic notices a gunshot near him, he will alert, or I should say, get the attention of every guard in the room. Every guard in the room will go into a caution and run to a particular place. I don't know where that is. I don't really care, but it gets them out of our way. That's the important part. So all the guards are basically no longer a threat in this room. We're able to just go straight through to all of the liquid fuel tanks, plant our C3, and move on. Makarov now is going into the Volgan fight, the first Volgan fight. This is the one in the Shacklehead hangar. Where he's going to use the SVD for this. The SVD is a lethal gun, of course, but it doesn't count as a kill because Volgan doesn't die. Spoiler alert, he's the one in the Shacklehead. But it is a very quick way to take him out. So even on Foxhound runs, this is the strat that you would use. He's going to grab Volgan, then CQC shove him, plant one shot in his back, wait for him to start standing up, and then once he starts standing up, plant as many shots into his back as you can. A little quirk about PS2, because of the frame rate, the guns shoot a lot slower. So you can't get nearly as much damage onto him as you would on other versions of the game. So they're just going to get what they can, basically, and try to finish the fight in any way they can. Ooh, that's a death from Makarov. Very unfortunate. I'm not sure what he was going for there. I think he might have been going for a CQC. I'm not entirely certain.
Yeah, I think he was waiting for the electricity to run out before going for the CQC.
Just standing a little too close, I guess. He's using a lot of ammo. I think he might be planning on backing up to the Patriot. Yeah, he definitely is. He only has 3 shots, so he must be planning on backing up to the Patriot. Volgan currently is 1 hit from starting Phase 2. And Phase 2 is fairly simple. If he can get there, the fight is mostly over. Oh, and death number 2 from Makarov. Very unfortunate. He ran it into his electricity and took quite a lot of damage. Volgan's attacks, they generally aren't that accurate, but when they hit, they do so much damage, it's ridiculous. We see now Martyr is finishing the Sorrow fight, doing the same thing Makarov did. IGT strats, he's just going to go ahead and drown himself. How come the Patriot isn't used? The Patriot isn't used because it, yeah, like you said, does less damage. You can stun lock him with it, though, but generally the DPS is not high enough. You can see here, there. He shot just a little too early that time, unfortunately, but... Ah, okay, he's going to go for the stun lock. And he doesn't get it. Unfortunately.
Yeah, the Patriot version for this fight is very, very tricky. I think what he should try doing is going with what he went before, but maybe aiming for a couple headshots as Volgan is standing up. Because you can get more damage if you hit him in the head as he's standing up as opposed to anywhere else.
Ooh, what was that kick? Did you see that?
Yeah,
That was
I'm
messed up.
surprised he's still alive.
Okay, that is phase 1 for Makarov.
Okay, oof. That
Phase
was
2 is
scary.
considerably simpler. He can just Patriot spam him and finish the fight here. I'm interested to see what he's going to do. I know he's going to have to back up to the Patriot because he does not have enough SVD ammo to finish this fight. The regular strat is... Oh, maybe he does have enough. The regular strat is to shoot him with the SVD in between his attacks when he doesn't have iframes and his shield's not up. You can stun lock him that way with the Patriot. He just ran out of ammo. Unfortunately... Oh, no, this is his death. Oh,
no.
So you noticed Volgan launched that electricity attack. The electricity attack obviously is attracted to metal, and because he had his gun out, it was attracted to Snake, and it's always going to hit you if you have your gun out. That's why Volgan says, put away your gun. Volgan actually tells you what to do. Very unfortunate to see that.
Yeah, look at that. That's very good damage right there.
Oh yeah, you can finish phase 1. Yes!
That's how you want to do it, yeah. Very, very nice.
That's a really good phase 1. Okay, this is a pretty clean phase 2 so far. He doesn't have enough ammo to finish the fight, though, so he is going to have to back up to the Patriot. Let's see if he gets it. Okay, he's going to back up to the 1911 instead. And he does not get it. Unequip your gun, and you won't... Ooh, okay. He survived it. You can survive 1 if you have full health. But he needs to put his gun away, because... Okay, he's going to do the bullet attack instead. This one is super deadly. This one's a... Ooh, no! He didn't know how to handle it. The way you need to avoid the bullet attack, the machine gun finger thing, is basically staying as far away as you can and moving laterally beside, or I don't know how you want to call it, across his vision. Don't run towards him because he'll always hit you that way. It's the only way you can dodge shots is if you go laterally. Oh, another clean phase 1. Very nice.
Yeah, he's got the phase 1 down. The phase 2 is tripping him up.
This race is narrowing. The lead is dwindling as we see it. Okay, this could be it for Makarov. There we go. Clean nice. Phase 2. He barely had enough ammo, but that's what you're looking for. You can nail him in between his attacks, or just before he gets to start an attack. When he doesn't have iframes up and his shield is down, you can get enough damage on him to finish phase 2 cleanly, just like that. That's what you're looking for. So, Bike Chase. The primary goal of this section of Bike Chase is to do as much damage as you can onto the Shacklehead with your RPG, because any damage you do here actually carries over into the fight. Something very interesting you may or may not have noticed, there's typically supposed to be guards there, and Makarov was actually looking for them, a little bit confused as to why they weren't there. MGS3 has a weird mechanic. If the game's frame rate is too low, it actually doesn't spawn some guards that are supposed to be there, because it assumes that the guards would be too resource intensive to the game and make the lag even worse, so it just doesn't spawn them. Very interesting to see that. It's not all that common.
Yeah, it's a very strange quirk in that section. So we got Martyr going into Volgan 1. Let's see how he handles this.
I wish him the best of luck. That's good damage. Ooh, and he misses the headshots. You can get more damage on him there at the end of phase 1, and he just missed it. But he is going to go ahead and go for a CQC attack and finish him off basically the same way he started phase 1. Fortunately, the SAA, not all that damaging as far as DPS goes, but he's one hit from death, so he's going to repeat the process. One more shot should take him out of phase 1.
Yeah, he's got his backup very nice.
He definitely knows how to back up this fight. For sure.
Very nice. Wow. Very good fight from Martyr.
That has
That was
clawed
good.
back so much time. Now
Yeah.
racers are only one room apart. Granted, it is a long room, but only one room. This tide could change with the Shacklehead alone. I don't believe that either runner is going to go for the loop. Maybe Makarov will. That could the Shacklehead could definitely change the tide of this race, no doubt. Makarov having a little bit of trouble getting these two guards there. These all the guards in this section, or at least the ones on the ground, do all need to be taken out somehow before Eva will progress. And these guards that you see Makarov attacking now, if you take them out early enough, you can actually prevent them from delaying the bike later on, because they would come as a second wave, basically, of reinforcements right here, which he actually might still... No, I think he's going to skip it. Here, there would be a second wave of reinforcements, and Eva would wait for them to arrive before moving on. Thankfully, he doesn't need to wait. And the guy you see him RPGing now has an RPG himself. This guard is very, very lethal, and it looks like he's going to take the hit. And he does. Very unfortunate.
Oof,
Makarov could
ouch.
not get that RPG out in time to hit that guard. That shot can be very awkward with the RPG. The splash damage is weird. Sometimes it goes through walls, and sometimes it doesn't. Thankfully, he gets the last RPG guard in the room. If that last RPG card had hit Makarov, that would have been guaranteed death, and that would have been a very equalizing move, because that is a very long room. Going into this room of bike chase with low health, it's not too big a risk, but it's not something you really want to deal with. As long as he takes these... Oh, he's going to opt to RPG the bikes. Okay. This is probably a little bit slower because it's causing a little bit of lag with the RPGs. I think most runners would opt to shoot the gunners with the Mark 22 or the Mosin or any weapon, really. Which would prevent the motorcycles from respawning. As you can see now, he's killed them all, but they're respawning. Which also gives them the opportunity to do more damage to him because the new bikes have new gunners. And the gunners are very accurate.
The drivers, not so much. They're very inaccurate. So if you just take out the gunners and then leave the driver along, they will sometimes hit you. But they're like I said, they're not the most accurate. So usually you don't have to worry about them.
We see SilentMartyr has been going for Foxhound strats, I believe, for bike chase so far. He has the stun grenades out. Instead of just RPGing everyone, like Makarov is choosing to do, he's using stun grenades instead. This is mostly runner preference, especially if you choose to go for Foxhound as opposed to, lethal strats. But I think it is slightly faster, because like I said before, the RPG does create some lag. And when the game lags, it slows down, so you lose time. Makarov now is dealing with the Shacklehead on the runway. Again, same purpose as before. He wants to do as much damage to the Shacklehead as he can, because all of this damage will carry into the fight. Oh, and the Shacklehead managed to get rockets off. Hopefully, Makarov did not notice. He's going to take the damage from the rockets. Oh, no. That's going to be... Actually, it won't be a big problem during the Shacklehead, to be honest. That was probably an overreaction. But still not fun to take those rockets, because it can kill you. Especially if you tank that rocket hit. Oh, this might kill him. That's a death on the runway. Very unfortunate.
Oh no!
It did end up affecting him. So his health was just low enough that that ram attack finished him off. Very unfortunate. You hate to see that. You never want to see that.
That is scary. Yeah, that's the worst. Oh no!
You can see Martyr is opting to do the shooting the gunners strat. A little bit, you take less damage if you do that, and it's just honestly easier, so you don't have to shoot as much. And it's mostly preference. Once you shoot the gunners, you can just sit back and relax for about 2 minutes, 1 minute and a half, something like that. This room takes. And Makarov is now out of the runway. Just about to go into the Shacklehead fight. He has one more thing to do before he fights the Shacklehead, which is snipe the C3 on the bridge. That damage, it's not... The damage that he got on the Shacklehead was not amazing, but, you know, you'll take what you can get. Any damage is better than no damage.
I planted 4 C3 charges. A little more. 3 more bombs left. A little more to left. Left. 2 more left. Only 1 more left. Keep your aim steady. Keep your aim steady. It's here. Got it.
All right, so now Makarov is going into the Shacklehead fight. We're going to see if he does the loop or not. The loop, he would open up with a very precisely timed shot on the treads. And it looks like he is going for it, so this is very exciting. And he nails the shot. So he has the potential to get the loop here. If you nail that tread at the particular moment he needs to, and he did, Evil will swing around the back, letting you hit the weak spot. And when the treads and weak spot are both stunned, Eva will try to get behind the Shacklehead and stay there, which allows you to continue the loop, shooting the weak spot and then the treads and repeating the process. And ooh, it looks like he might have just lost it. The Shacklehead is spinning around just a little bit, but not too bad. Oh no. So it looks like Makarov is now going into recovery mode. He's trying to salvage any damage he can get off the Shacklehead. The loop is gone at the moment. It is possible for the loop to recover after you lose it, but it's not all that likely. And he's just going to try to salvage whatever he can, occasionally shooting the treads after shooting the weak spot, seeing if he gets the loop again, and if he does, he'll be a very happy boy. That there was a very good shot on the Shacklehead's treads, even though without the loop, but it made the Shacklehead spin around in such a way that he had a good view on the weak spot. And with that, we now have both runners on the same boss. Martyr is going into the Shacklehead right now. I do not believe that he's going to go for the loop, and he does not. He's going to hope for the best, hope that the Shacklehead plays ball and gives him a nice fight today. Unfortunate. The Shacklehead... Oh, there you go. That's a nice turn. Let's go. Makarov moving into phase 2 of the Shacklehead. He's going to plant a RPG shot as soon as the fight starts, which hits the treads, and alternate between shooting Volgin in the head and shooting the treads. Unfortunately, he just barely missed that shot. Oh, buddy, he might be able to save it here.
You don't want to spam rocket shots in this fight.
Very true. You do only have 10 rockets. You don't have a lot to play with. And I think he's going to run out. He only has... Can't read that. Oh no, 3 shots. So he has 3 shots to do 4 hits, which is not enough. So he's going to opt to reset the fight. This is an opportunity for SilentMartyr to claw back a lot of time. He has the Shacklehead down to about 25% health. He can get these shots and potentially completely bring this gap close together. So we see Makarov is opting to use the Mosin Nagant instead of the SVD. The Mosin Nagant is slightly slower for Volgin phase 2. Oh no! Oh sweet! We see him going for the SVD now. He's changed his mind. The SVD is a 3-shot kill as opposed to a 4-shot kill for the Mosin. Ooh, that is laggy. Look at that.
Yeah,
So
you can
he
see
doesn't
the game
recognize
chugging.
it. There you go. He figured it out. And Martyr is one hit away from finishing phase 1, and that is it. They are now entering the same phase of the fight. Makarov is yet to do all that much damage to Volgin. This could definitely be the opportunity for SilentMartyr to take the lead. If he gets a clean phase 2, this could bring him in the lead, and he could win it. That is a miss. He just barely hit Volgin's shield. So Volgin has a shield in his front. If he's ever facing you, your shots will always hit the shield instead of him. So you want to try to avoid that as much as you can. Makarov's doing a bit of damage control here. Volgin is down to 1 hit left, but he is attacking, and it's not all that easy to get damage in while Volgin's attacking. Some of these attacks, particularly like the machine gun, the big machine gun attack and the rockets, are kind of hard to dodge. So that puts Martyr in the lead. He just finished phase 2.
Wow.
And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, the tables are turned. What a comeback. Ooh, this is scary. That is death for Makarov. This is attempt number 3 at Shacklehead phase 2. This is going to be a significant lead for SilentMartyr, ladies and gentlemen. SilentMartyr now on the last room of Bike Chase. He doesn't have too much to worry about in this room. He just needs to make sure he plays it safe and doesn't take too many continues, and he can win this. But it is still not anyone's bag. We have a lot more coming up. We have Bike Chase, the Flying Platform room, Escort, and we have the boss. And all 3 of those rooms can very easily cause problems. So it's still not over.
Yeah, Mac keeps aiming his first rocket shot a bit too high and missing the treads at the start of the phase. And then that kind of throws him a bit for a loop in the rest of it.
Makarov opting to go for the easier body shots. It does do quite a lot less damage, but it's a lot easier to hit him in that case. Oh, and he's getting rocket shot at him. I hope he recognizes, and he's gonna try to hit him, and he's gonna hit by the rockets. Oh, that is a death for Makarov. Very unfortunate.
Ouch.
He accidentally crouched instead of rolling away from those rockets, and that was his demise. So we see Martyr now. Ooh, that's risky. He is confident in his ability. So Martyr just threw 1 stun grenade at that set of trucks there, and that checkpoint has actually an RPG guard in it. That RPG guard is very deadly. He will bring your health down by quite a lot, going into one of the hardest, if not the hardest room in the entire game, the Flying Platform section. You do not want to go into this room with low health, because these guys do incredible DPS. They are very accurate, they shoot often, and there's a lot of them. Particularly the guard in the middle, he has a tendency to fly directly overhead Snake, just like we see happening with Martyr now, and he's in a position where Martyr cannot easily hit him. Thankfully, he did manage to hit him, but sometimes that middle guard can get into a position where he absolutely cannot be hit. He will just park himself there, shooting his machine gun at you. Sometimes he can even light you on fire, and if these guys crash in front of you, close enough to hit you, the explosion damage will do a lot of damage to you, and 2, it'll light you on fire, which is very, very deadly. You don't want to see that. Makarov made it out of Shacklehead Phase 2, and now he's in the final section of Bike Chase, the final stretch.
I would not recommend using the RPG here if you're running PS2, because that will create a lot of extra lag and will lose you a lot of time. But it is safer because it gets all those guards out of the way almost instantly. So it is entirely up to the runner, but I would heavily recommend not using the RPG here, just to avoid the lag. And Martyr out of probably the scariest room in all of Bike Chase. And on to the last one, which is which is the safest. This is basically the easiest section of Bike Chase. These guys really don't pose much of a threat. They really can't hit you, so it's kind of just get some shots off on them, and then you're at the end and you're done with it.
This room is definitely a sigh of relief for anyone who gets past the flying platforms.
Yeah, unless you got like bullied super hard in the flying platform room, usually you'll have enough health to not have to worry about much of anything in this section. So this is where most people go, okay, and they get ready for the EVA escort. Okay, and Makarov getting the RPG guard, who would have taken his 25 FPS into 1 FPS. So good thing you got rid of him.
Oh, I think Makarov just shot himself with the RPG on accident.
Yeah, he did.
Here comes. Hold on tight. Yeah. What do you think of that?
So Martyr's now out of Bike Chase. He starts the EVA escort. PS2 is a little bit different than HD in this case. Normally runners would go ahead and feed EVA right away, but on PS2, stamina drains quite a lot faster. So they're going to actually feed her later on at the beginning of the next room. So instead, they're just going to cure her right away so they can get moving as quick as possible. For this first room of EVA escort, ooh, that is laggy. Oh, I do not like that camera. For the first room of EVA escort, you don't
Turn
need
it
to
off harder. No,
you don't
make
need
it
to escort
stop.
at all. You can actually just run straight to the cutscene trigger, and EVA will teleport right to you. So we don't bother escorting her. But for all the other parts, you do need to have her following you. However, for the rest of the first room of escort, it's really not all that much of a threat. The guards spawn from behind you, and they move kind of slowly. So as long as you keep a good pace, don't let EVA stop too much. You don't really run all that much risk of getting an alert.
Yeah, basically, as long as Snake keeps moving forward and EVA keeps moving forward, they'll never be able to catch you, pretty much regardless of how slow you go. Obviously, it is, possible to go too slow, but then that would kind of, it makes sense why it wouldn't work then. So you don't really have to do much on this section, just kind of walk forward, and that's it, pretty much.
It looks like Makarov used a life med. I'm not sure exactly what happened. Did you catch it, Minnie?
I did not. I think probably he'd used that life med on
Let me have
the
Flying
platform guards
platforms.
room. Yeah, I think he might have
Right.
used it there.
I did not catch when he used it. He used it, so he obviously had all that health restore, and he's still at very low health. So flying platform must have been rough on him. I wish I was paying attention. Oh.
It's either that, or I think he might have hit himself with the rocket a couple extra times on accident. In that last screen, it is possible. I was trying to focus on explaining what Martyr was doing, unfortunately, so I didn't get to see it as well. Yeah, Martyr in the last room with guards. Yeah, so these guys are all in caution, which means they kind of got that tunnel vision going. And we pretty much are just going to headshot all these guys, get them out of our way. They're not really much of a threat. And these guys, they don't have... Ooh, that's bad.
Risky.
Ooh, he can still save that. Oh. Oh, okay. Where did he go? Oh, there he is. Okay, alright. I've never seen someone do that shot from that far away, and I have not seen that guard not notice his buddy go down. So, that was interesting, but good on Martyr for being able to catch that and save it in some way. I think Eva doesn't see him. Yeah, okay, yeah, she didn't see him at first. There we go. Yeah, I have never... What is this line Eva's taking? That is a strange line. This room for Martyr has been very bizarre. Yeah, here we just got 3 guards to take care of, and then it's pretty much just a straight shot to the final boss, which is the boss. Oh, he's going to have to get rid of that guy. You don't have to get rid of that guard lying down in the grass over there. You can take a very specific line so that he just doesn't see you. But Martyr opting to get rid of him just to be safe. Oh, he's getting rid of all of them, actually. Okay, for a second I got scared and thought Eva was taking that weird route, but okay, it didn't happen.
It is possible for Eva to just leave when you jump down the cliff. She'll just run straight back to the beginning of the room. Yeah. No one knows why it happens or exactly what causes it, but it's very annoying when it happens. It's like 45 seconds or a minute even lost every time it happens, and it can happen back to back to back.
And Martyr making a bit of a mistake there. He actually, during the animation of Eva dropping off the ledge, he actually walked a bit too far forward, which caused Eva to lose sight of him and just wait. So he lost a little bit of time. This is very close. They're both in the exact same room, although Martyr is on his way out.
Oh, and Makarov takes an alert on the guard.
No.
He was going for that headshot, but body shotted him instead. And when a guard gets hit in the body with a tranq round, he instantly turns towards wherever it came from. And he just wasn't behind cover. So he was able to see him. Very unfortunate.
Get ready.
And now we see Martyr entering the final boss of the game, the boss. The boss always opens up her fight with a CQC charge, so he's going to parry that, and then plant 2 Mosin Nagant shots into her head, slam her, and then throw a stun grenade straight up, and that stun grenade is going to detonate at just the right moment to stun her, in this case on the ground. Oh no, never mind, she's standing, very good. And then that is effectively a cycle of the loop. He's going to repeat that, shoot her twice in the head, stun grenade straight up, and then repeat that, basically. You'll notice that he is buffering after she stands up, waiting basically to shoot her. Otherwise, he will hit her, knock her down, and make her get iframe, and then she won't take any more damage. Unfortunately, there at the last cycle of the loop, he did miss it, but he's going to recover it here. Shouldn't be too much trouble for him. Ooh, he misses it again. Misses one of those headshots. Those headshots can be tricky. She likes to bob her head around, can be a bit of a difficult target to hit. She moves a lot. And it's also obviously kind of small. Even at close range, it's still kind of hard to hit her. The Mosin Nagant also is not a great close-range weapon. It's kind of hard to use. Ooh, this is very rough for Martyr. He could die. He's been
This
knifed.
is scary, yeah.
And she is shooting at him. Her gun does a lot of damage and it knocks you down, so he is not in a good way if she shoots him, even once. He is 1 hit from death at the moment, even with the Oscam camouflage on. And he gets this parry. I do not think this cycle is going to be enough to end the fight, though. We will see. No, it won't be. One more shot, and she is out of here.
I think it might be best to let her go and hide and not try and counter, because I think he might have hit the counter limit.
I agree.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he's going for the counter.
Yeah, he hit the counter
Unfortunate.
limit. Very
That
unfortunate.
is death. I don't know if he thought to counter her CQC there, but if you fail a parry for any reason, you can actually counter her CQC and get out of her grab. You can't really do a whole lot after that. Your best opportunity after that is to run away and just not die, but it will keep you from dying. Not sure if he knows that.
And he didn't throw the stun grenade properly, so he wasn't able to get the loop going. But he will be able to go for another counter here, and he will have another chance to try it again.
Ooh, and Makarov takes another continue on the final room with guards. That's a very punishing continue because this room is very long, and I think he was just at the end of it. Am I right, Minnie?
Yeah, he was nearing the end, which that's very unfortunate because, again, very, very long room.
You're better than I remember.
Oh, no.
Oh no, he's mistiming the stun grenade throws. This is unfortunate. Luckily, he's nowhere near the counter limit, so he is going to have another shot. I think he can do one more rep. I think? Let's see.
Get ready.
Okay,
Wow.
good. Yeah, he can do one more rep.
And this is going to finish the fight for Martyr. And that is Martyr.
Very,
out.
very nice.
GG to Martyr. As said before, both runners will be going to IGT, so we're going to go all the way through the credits.
Keep it safe. It's our only hope.
Makarov is still having a little bit of trouble with Zhao's Yurie West, the final room with guards. That time he shot the wall near a guard, which, like before, when you shoot a guard in the chest or in the body, makes them all turn straight towards you. And if you're visible to them, you'll just get an instant alert, and that's what happened there.
Now. Do it. There's only room.
I think he's hesitating just a little bit too much on these shots. He's not going as close to these guards as he can be. You can actually go pretty close to them on caution because, again, they do have a bit of a tunnel vision when they're just walking around. So for the most part, they actually will not spot you as you're going around in this area.
Oh no, this is a very risky shot. I don't think he's going to go for it. Good, he doesn't.
Yeah,
He's going to rather deal with this guard later on. So there are quite a few places where you can stand and shoot those guards at the end of the room where they won't see you. Unfortunately, he's not opting to take any of those positions at this moment. I'm not entirely sure why. But he is going to play it safe here and take out this guard a little bit later on when he's a little bit easier, has some distance on him, and won't get an instant alert if he misses. That was a really lucky headshot. I think if he'd missed that, correct me if I'm wrong, Minnie, if he hit him in the body or hit the floor, then he would have turned around and instantly gotten alerted. Is that correct?
I believe so, yes. I was looking at chat during that shot, but I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, the guard that you kick the plant for and he just walks off. That's a very high-risk shot.
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah,
guard,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That guard is not a threat.
Yeah,
the whole point... Oh, and he takes another continue. Very unfortunate.
Ouch.
The whole point of shooting that plant, or knocking that plant off, is the noise distracts the guard, makes him run all the way around, gets him out of the picture. So that way you don't have to shoot him. That's the whole point. Unfortunately, he is opting to shoot that guard anyway. No real necessity to that. Same with the guard laying down in the grass at the end of the room. He's also choosing to shoot that guard. 100% unnecessary. That guard will never see you. He's not looking towards you, so you can just walk on by him.
The enemy is close by.
Oh, this is risky. Oh, no. He heard his footsteps, so now he's going to walk towards him, I think. Yeah, there it is. Oh, he's going to see Eva. Oh, my God. Makarov, you are one lucky man.
Nobody here.
What he could do right now is he could lean around the corner and shoot that guard in the head. Oh, and he walks forward and gets the alert on Eva. That guard is really giving Makarov some problems right now.
Yeah, that's rough, yeah. Oh no, he got just a bit too close to the edge right there.
Snake, what happened to you? Snake? Snake!
Come on, everybody, let's give Makarov some support. Let's give Makarov our energy, huh? We know Makarov can do this.
The enemy is close by.
I'm so hungry.
hear something. What's wrong?
All right. Makarov now has a clear path to get to the exit. I think there's one guard left. Hopefully he doesn't try to take him out. That guard is not a threat. I think Eva is too far away. I think he's going to have to go around. But yeah, he's definitely going to have to go around. But the path is clear. Should be clear. No, Makarov. Why? Why did he reset the room?
I think it was because Eva got too hungry. Yeah, her stamina was really low. I don't think she was moving.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not notice that. I'm not entirely sure why Makarov is standing on his toes to shoot that guard. It's like he's going for a quick headshot, but instead of doing the quick headshot, he's just manually aiming. Which, again, standing on your toes is kind of weird on PS2 because the trigger buttons on the DualShock 2 are not very easy to press. If you want to stand right up on your toes, you have to press them very, very hard. And you certainly don't need to stand on your toes.
Really hard.
Right, you certainly don't need to stand on your toes to get the shot. But now he's going for the crouch. Can't tell if he's on his toes. It looks like he is. Yeah, he was.
The enemy is close by.
I think him hitting the rock there was unintentional, but that did get the guard that was behind the rock to come out of the way so that he could actually get those shots off on him. That might be the key that he's looking for.
I hear something.
Ooh.
He's here.
I'm not sure if he even kicked the plant. I think he did. But he certainly missed that shot, which actually makes this guard a problem.
Watch out.
He just needs to take his time and land these shots. The room is not on a timer at this point. If he just waits and takes his time with these shots, he can make it. Okay, taking the safe option of planting that guard with some body shots instead of going for the headshot. Much easier to go for the bigger target instead of the small one, of course. And one more guard is in his way. That is the final guard. He is now ready to move on to the boss. And with that, he goes into the
There
final
he goes.
game.
Very nice.
So, as before, the boss always starts the fight with a CQC charge, which he's going to parry. And that's a successful parry. 2 Mosin Nagant headshots. He actually is probably going to go for 1 headshot and then a body shot, most likely. Oh, he missed. And he's going to reset the fight, I think, if he doesn't die here. Yeah, he's going to reset the fight for sure.
Run quick. Brace yourself.
As predicted, headshot and then a body shot. This does work out to be the same as 2 headshots, as long as you execute well.
You're better than I remember.
That
Yeah,
grenade
you can see him
definitely
going.
not
Yeah. Oh no, it wasn't. Yeah, you're right.
But
That
it
still
worked.
works though. Yeah.
You'll take it. All right,
He
so
didn't
now
toss it too far away.
This is the
That
final
was able to
cycle of the
save it.
loop. And he now needs to run away, have her charge him again, parry her one more time, and then a few more shots and a slam will end the fight. So it all hinges on this parry, which he landed. Yes.
Very nice.
Your skills have improved.
Okay, so he is going to have to do a little bit more damage, I think. I'm not sure that this is going to end the fight here, and it does not. So he's going to have to do something here to end the fight. Hopefully, he doesn't take too much. Thankfully, he has a life med, so he doesn't need to worry too much about dying. He just needs to worry about finishing off the boss. I don't think this parry is going to work. I think it worked, and he nailed it! He just needs
nailed it.
one
Very
shot to
nice.
finish a fight. And that is time for Makarov. Yes!
GG.
I am so happy that Makarov got the boss quickly because he was really struggling with the boss in practice, and I'm super excited for him to see that he didn't lose too much time to the boss there. GG, boys.
Take this. Keep it safe. It's our only hope.
A patriot? Why are you giving me this?
Jack. Or should I say, Snake. You're a wonderful man. Kill me. Kill me now. Do it. There's only room for one boss and one snake.
Hello, Martyr. GG, my friend.
Thank you.
How do you feel about that race? It was a it was a big roller coaster for sure. The tide changed many times. The lead was definitely never set in stone at any point. How do you feel about it?
Honestly, I feel pretty good about it, except for the end fight, obviously.
Right, of course. Yeah, it's always
Um,
painful to watch anyone struggle at any point.
That was a difficult end fight. I think both of you had some trouble with it. There's nothing worse than like when you reset and you've got to do that opening position again, and then you think about it, you're like, oh god, I've already messed this up. It's like 25 seconds, but got
for
through it.
PS2, I need like binoculars to actually see where I'm supposed to be aiming because of how small he is. It's like pretty nasty. But no, honestly, I remember. I think it was Minnie asking about the punching. I sometimes don't do the punches when I'm not feeling as confident about my position because if I'm not in the right spot and do those 2 punches, he'll actually turn before I can get the stick up on him. So if I don't feel like I'm right where I need to be, I might just do the 2 cigar sprays and then go for the stick up because I don't want to risk him running away that early.
Yeah, it can be scary. A lot of different things can happen in that fight as well. Like you have to kind of adjust on the fly. It's very, very difficult fight, especially on PS2 because you have to crouch to get that double damage with the cigar gas spray as well. Was
Yeah, it's rough, especially like you guys were talking about with the spray sometimes doubling and sometimes not doubling. You're just like every time you spray, you're like, what am I getting this time? Who knows?
it was fantastic to see a PS2 run on the channel. I mean, I'm sure we've had one at some point, but it's been some time, that's for sure. And your first time on the channel as well, right, Matt?
Correct. Yeah, I haven't gotten a chance to pop in yet. I haven't been much of a MGS2 player at all, so I didn't get any chance to get in on that VE tournament last year.
Yeah,
That was it.
for us, like we always want to get as many of the community on the channel as we can, and you would submit to stuff, but there was never like anyone who ran the same stuff as you. You know, it's like around the same time. So with this, like we were asking Makarov, we were like, oh, please do this because we'd really like to get you on the channel. Definitely deserve to be highlighted on here. Um, Follow both of these guys, by the way. SilentMartyr streams pretty often, although he's doing some Resident Evil 4 at the moment. He does play Metal Gear as well, and all kinds of games, right? Final Fantasy as well, a little bit.
I do Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy 7, RE4, and obviously Metal Gear as well. Yeah, I hit Foxhound last year and wanted to move on because I honestly didn't feel like I had put enough work in to earn the Foxhound that I got. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna step back for a bit and to try something else. But no, I'm really happy with everything else though. One thing I remember you guys commenting on, I had you in my ear when I was doing the run. During the Ocelot unit fight, you wondered why I didn't shoot the second to last guy. If you shoot the far southern guy in the body and he drops later, that dude will actually walk and do a perimeter patrol on the southern end. So I run down and shoot the other guy first so that he'll stop and then go back into his spot because he gets scared by his friend getting shot down.
Very interesting. I did not know that. That's good awareness.
Yeah, it's just a backup that I established because just like, it's harder to get that headshot on PS2, so it's like a slower safety to guarantee Foxhound. Because like I was trying to find good backups to have for continuing Foxhound, so you're losing like a second or two, but you're making sure that you can still get your run to continue.
Actually, as a fun fact on what you mentioned, if when you go up to the bottom fence to shoot the southern guard and you do the shot really quickly, but it's not a headshot, you actually don't have to worry about that other guy doing the patrol loop. He'll go down before he can even spot him. It's just if you go to line up the shot and then don't get the headshot, that's when you need to do what you had mentioned and go for him sooner.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
because like I always will be like, if I either know I'm on or I take a little bit of time to move it to where I need it to be. Because like it's, that auto aim for that shot isn't super precise. So you can't just like, at least I can't just like usually just like pop and shoot it because I'll usually
it's a little finicky on PS2 to get that shot because of the way that the triggers work when you're standing up.
Yeah, PS2, because of the whole like resolution difference, there's a lot of like long range shots that you kind of have to take with a aggression level because of the fact that you can't really
for sure,
you can't really verify where you're shooting as much. You just kind of have to do it by feel and hope that it's the right angle or spot to be hitting on.
I'm really happy that we had this exhibition race today. Appreciate you both for coming and doing this PS2 version of the game run. Obviously, PAL versus NTSC. We will be going back into the tournament after this. The next race will be myself, Apache Smash versus Major Zero. We are in winners final, so the loser of that game will play Sparty. Are you looking forward to catching the rest of the tournament, Marta?
Oh, absolutely. That was one of the things that I was looking forward to. Was like, because I've taken like a little bit of a break from the game, seeing all the optimizations that have happened since I stepped away. Because like I'll catch people running occasionally, but when I'm not running the game, I'm not as like into it as I am while I'm running it. And like just seeing like even in such a short amount of time, how much optimization has happened with like half a second here, half a second there, doing this room a little different. Like, there's a lot of stuff that when I come back to this, I have a ton of stuff to learn. So I'm really excited to watch the rest of the race and see the top level guys and like all their little secret techs they've been holding back on and want to release upon the race to get the win.
Hell yeah. It'd be good to have you back running the game as well, flying the banner for NTSC PS2 version. So that'll be awesome.
I'd love to, like a lot of us played this originally on the PS2, and then like once the HD edition came out, haven't really come back to it. So I love being able to like show everybody like, hey, this is the nostalgia that you get to like feel, but at the same time you're seeing it done in a speed run. So I'm a big fan of doing it that way. So I'm all for more PS2 runners, events, all that stuff.
Yeah, the PS2 version has some very interesting quirks that make it a little bit more difficult, but it also does have some of those quirks that also make it really cool. There's a couple like just unique weird stuff that you can do only on the PS2 that you can't do in HD Collection. So yeah, it is very cool to have this run showcase. So I'm glad you guys were able to do this race. It's fantastic to see. There was a lot of stuff that I want to go back and clip to show like each of the players, like when you guys did something insane or something really cool. I've seen like there were so many things that happened on both players' ends that like I spot out of the corner of my eye and like Major was in the middle of talking and I couldn't like nerd out over like this very minor optimization one of you guys did. So I'm gonna clip those and send them to both of you because there was definitely really cool stuff that you did that we just weren't able to mention specifically.
Yeah, I like to use the swag when I can. So like, I know it didn't work out the first time I did the jumps, but the bridge jump on Night Dolovodno is something that I love to do, even though it's very risky.
The bridge jump is great. Yeah,
I know, you guys think I'm nuts for trying that every time, but I don't know. Something when you do it right, just like it's so smooth.
It looks good when it works, but oh my god, is it risky? It's actually free on the Xbox version, Like
really?
You can't fail it on the Xbox version. It's like guaranteed.
Actually learned that strat because I had trouble running along the bridge. I was falling off of it a lot because I couldn't really get Snake to stay on the correct line. And for whatever reason, when you do that jump correctly, it puts you dead center in the middle of the bridge. So all you have to do is hold up, and it just like you don't have to worry about movement on the bridge at that point. Because I've always had trouble with movement, so I'm always looking for those little helpful visual cues or ways to help me do certain strats so that I can be more consistent with them.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming to do this post-game interview. I'll let this run completely wrap up. But do you have anyone else have anything to add about the race we just saw?
One thing I would like to mention is, although it may seem very scary to do, especially because of the pain is the main reason a lot of people don't want to run PS2. But if you do get around to it, it is a very interesting run, and there's a lot of differences from HD Collection that change it up enough so that you're not just watching the same run on a slower console. There's a lot of minor differences throughout, and it makes it a very unique watch.
Yeah, the pain fight that I had, I think, showed a pretty good way to deal with him in Phase 2 without losing a ton of time.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a quality
one
paint
ammo
by
left was
Yeah.
scary.
Calculated. No, there's one faster way where it's very rare, but he won't actually throw the bullet bees to start. He'll start walking instead of doing anything. So if you do the grenade and like normally, you throw the grenade, do a couple shots, and then dive in the water, but if you get that shot, you can actually loop him just like in the first phase, and he never throws the bees at you. I actually got it in practice this morning, and I was like, why didn't you do this later? Why? So it's not always an extra like 3 minutes to do that phase if you get really good at it. So I like you said, it is a deterrent because it's not as easy as just like holding R1 and letting the bees not hit you. So
Yeah.
I was so mad when I found out about that difference because I was like watching somebody do it and I'm like, wait, that doesn't work for me. Like threw up the game, tried it, died like for an hour straight. I'm like, no, this doesn't work, does it? Rough.
But in a strange way, it means the optimal strat is because like the bullet bees can miss. It's like a very, very low % chance on the PlayStation 2. I've seen it twice in all the time I've been watching people run
They
that
can
game.
miss, yeah.
So optimally, you'd have to play up to the pain, see if it misses, and then reset if it doesn't. Like that would be my thinking going into it.
Actually, if I go through Ocelot Fight and he doesn't get more than 2 shots on me, I can take a hit from the bullet bee and survive it, and then just get up and loop him from there. But that Ocelot Fight didn't go well enough for that to happen. Unfortunately, he shot me way too many times. So
Thanks very much for taking part. Thank you to Makarov as well. That was our exhibition race of the PlayStation 2 version of Metal Gear Solid 3. As I said before, we are going to continue with the tournament now. I'm going to take us back to a short intermission, and then we'll be back with me versus Major Zero coming up in about 5 minutes' time. Thank you everyone for watching, and see you all very, very soon.